I need to get to this bothy ASAP. My name is Rory and welcome back to 5 Bit Outdoors. As you can see, I am in a lovely, beautiful spot here down by a river in the Cairngorm National Park of Scotland. I'm out here for a few days. I'm going to go up into the mountains. It's wintry conditions, it's cold, it's wet, it's snowing. I'm going up, I'm wearing thick, warm, woolen layers, and I'm going to spend a few nights in a couple of bothies, camping and enjoying myself. Got lots of food, lots of warm gear, and I'm just going to test myself, enjoy the mountains and have a good few days. First of all, I'm going to grab some fresh water straight out the river. That is lovely, fresh, really replenishing, really tasty. This is ice water down from the mountains, so it's fresh. No need for any sanitizing or life straws or anything like that. Perfectly good to drink, nice, cold and refreshing. Cheers to a good camp. So I'm just heading up the mountain path now. I'm just following this track all along the river that leads up to a bothy. A bothy is a little cabin up in the mountains. There's a few of them up in the Cairngorms. I'm going to one at the moment, possibly some others. Yeah, do a bit of bothy hopping. And yeah, I mean, been in worse places. This is divine. Now the thing with bothies is they are free to use for anyone, so there could be people in there. I'm hoping that the cold and the rain would have kept most of the normal people out, just the crazy lot like me. So hopefully I'll get one of them to myself, but no big if I don't. But yeah, we can only see when we get there. Onwards. Okay, so that's where I'm heading, in that direction. See those snowy peaked mountains? That's where I hope to get to in the next couple of days. But for tonight, because I am losing light now, it's about 4 o'clock, there is a bothy just at the bottom around this bend where I'll hopefully stay tonight, and then I'll push on further up into the snowy mountains tomorrow night. But yeah, isn't this divine, man? So I'm at a bothy up in the where I was headed. There is a fella in there, so I'm not really doing too much filming, not too much talking. It's a bit rude, but yeah. So I've just it's a bit breezy, It's very breezy. It was snowing as I was coming up here. Now I'm just sort of, I had some coffee, had some soup, just warm myself up a bit. And now, yeah, just having a bit of a chilled evening. I'll try and do more filming tomorrow when the fella disappears. But yeah, see you in the morning. Right, good morning. It is now the morning after. So basically, as I said last night, when I got here it was already dark. So it was snow was coming down, it was quite heavy. It took me a bit of time to actually find this bothy within the woods, but I did manage to find it. There was a gent in here already, nice fella, but he has just left, which is good. Means I can get back to filming. It was quite a tranquil environment, you know, candle lit. He had a fire going, so it was lovely and warm in here. Really nice, good sanctuary from the cold outside. But yeah, so yeah, that was last night. Now it's the morning. Now I'm gonna go get some breakfast ready. I'm gonna get some. I've got porridge, and I'm gonna make some coffee just to get myself going for the day. This bothy has a jerry can, which is good, which is for collecting water from the river. So I'm just going to go grab some water from there to start with. It's a beautiful morning. This is the bothy itself. It's a lovely little hut, cabin up in the mountains. So I'll just give you a little tour of the bothy. This is called Bob Scott's Memorial Hut. So it's a lovely, spacious building. So down here is your fireplace. Seating all around. And this is like the bedding area. You can either lay on the ground or up here. Last night I slept up there, looking out the window. With a lovely view of the mountain. So this bothy has a lot of supplies already. Lots of, like, this kettle is what we were using last night. It's got pans, it's got pots, got a jerry can for water. And then, yeah, all these supplies here are usually what are left over by previous travellers. A big part of bothy etiquette is to leave something behind when you visit one, whether it be a bit of firewood or some firelighters, or you know, a bit of food, maybe some porridge, or you know, sachets of food that you don't necessarily need, but are happy to part ways with. It's a generosity donation type thing, in the hope that other people will do the same. And if you are in need of food or warmth or anything, then it is, you know, just the common decent thing to do. Okay, so I'm just packing up, getting ready to head back off up the mountain. But yeah, I'm just going to leave a few little bits behind, nothing major. Just some porridge and a couple of hot chocolate sachets, just for the next person that might want to use them. Right, so that's me all done in here, packed up, ready to go. Okay, so here is a map of the area that I'm in. So just as a reference to show you where I've gone so far, yesterday I parked in this car park here, the Lynn of D car park, there, sorry. Then I followed the track up this way, around to this bridge here, where I crossed over. I then headed further up this hill to about here. The bothy I'm staying in is approximately there. And that's where I've been, that's where I currently am now. My plan from here is to head further west. So to follow this track along here, then I'll come around this mountain here, and I'll head up to another bothy there called Cairngorm Bothy. Now, from what I'm told, it's fairly easy going. There's some boggy parts, and there's a fresh supply of water, which is good. But unfortunately, I don't think there is anything in the way of firewood up there. I think that's the better option. I did have another plan, which was to head further up the mountain, up this way, to another bothy called the Hutchison Memorial Hut. This is, from what I'm told, is more of a survival shelter. It's a bit more extreme. Okay, so where you can see this snow-capped peak there, there's a little valley between that one and this ridgeline here. That's where I'm headed. The river goes up the valley. It's not as steep as that looks, but that's where I'm heading. It's getting a bit rainy up here now, but that's where I've come from, or just from around the left there, all the way through that tree line, following the river. I've just crossed a bit of a bog here, just heading up this hill, and I don't think it should be too much further, this bothy. Right, so unfortunately I've just realised I've gone wrong. So behind me, I came from that way and thought and followed the trees up here, but what I was actually meant to do was carry on around that way, where I need to follow it around and move up the next valley. It's taken up some more time than I'd hoped, but yeah, back the way I go. nearly there. The main reason for bothies isn't just a nice little getaway cabin, is they are survival shelters. Like, I've just been hiking for hours through boggy terrain, the hills, wind in my face, you know, it's getting cold, I'm wet, I'm pretty tired. Like, every footstep in the bog feels like you're walking upstairs. You know, it's hard work on the body. And I can understand why it's so easy for people to get trapped out here, stranded out here. And well, I've got a tarp and a, you know, survival gear, I've got food, so if I did need a night out of here, I would be fine. But it is a pleasant sight to see a bothy. Right, I'm starting to lose light now, but it's pretty epic. But I need to get to this bothy ASAP, so I'll see you there. Finally, I'm here. At least I fucking hope so. That was a mission to get to. It looks like no one is home. Oh. Yes. Gas. Bed up there. Oh my god. You have no idea how happy I am to be here. Right, so just arrived. I've just set up some candles, tea lights all over the place, just to give it a bit of ambiance and just so I can see really. Got some my fairy lights up there. I always bring a little pack of a little string of lights just so that wherever I'm camping. Got a fireplace here. Unfortunately, I've got no firewood, and up here, chances of me getting any slim to none. So it's probably going to be a fireless night, but what I am going to do is start cooking. Right, so I've just been down to the river and grabbed a few litres of water. First thing I'm going to be doing is making a coffee. It's been bloody cold out there. My breath is misting up, and without a fire, it's in what I drink and what I eat that are going to keep me warm. So, what I'm wearing. But yeah, my clothes are damp. The coat is wet on the outside. My socks are wet. Yeah, I'm just gonna get warm, get dry, get comfy, enjoy an evening in this lovely ambiance, candlelit, very light lit bothy. I'm just getting some soup on now. Simple cup of soup, little sachet, nice and light to carry, life-saving meal. Also got with me tonight just some mead. Drank some of it last night, but yeah, going to finish the rest of that tonight. That'll keep me a bit warmer. And to top it off, got some of the ishkaba, the whiskey, water of life. Scotch. Not going to drink too much of it, just enough to warm up the insides a bit. One thing I can imagine you are wondering is why I am dressed like I am, and whether these clothes are any good or not. So I'll put a link for all the clothing items and all the gear that I'm using in the description, so check that out if you want to know about specific pieces, like the trousers, the coat, the boots, you know, all of that. But basically for this trip, obviously I was hoping there'd be more snow, and this kind of gear is warm, thick, good handy weather for snow. There has been snow, but it has been mostly rain. This gear is good for rain. Like this is a sheepskin coat, real sheepskin, and yeah, it is very good. It's very wind resistant. Like I can barely feel anything. It's very warm. It's you know, obviously wool lined, and it does hold water for quite a while on the outside, but that doesn't get through to the to the fur on the inside. So I'm not wet at all. I am quite dry. These are wool made trousers. I'm wearing merino wool socks. I've got a merino wool hat. I've been wearing a tweed cap as well. That was my main aim. It was to try and wear natural or non-synthetic clothing, just to put it through its tested merits of it, to see how it stands up to the modern equivalent. I try to imagine camping or hiking, how it was done in the past. So they wouldn't have had synthetic materials. They'd have had natural materials, wool, leather. That was my sort of goal. See if I could see what camping would be like with old traditional gear. And obviously most of the gear that I've got isn't traditional, but the clothing I wanted to test out. Now it is definitely good. It's definitely good for this sort of keeping you warm. But one downside I've found is that with this coat especially, is that it's not very breathable. So I found even it was keeping the cold and the wind and the rain out, I was still sweating underneath. So that is obviously that's a consideration you need to make when you're coming up in these situations, because it can be damaging. Thankfully it's not that cold outside, but when you rest and when you lose that body heat from all the energy you've been doing through walking, things start to cool down, like your underlayers, your socks and whatever, and it's that then turns into cold. It then turns to hypothermia. But yeah, that's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing. I thought it'd be a bit of fun as well, try a different style. And one definite pro for sure. While it was more hot when I was lower down in the middle of the day, now I'm up here in the mountain in this cabin with no fire going, yet I'm quite toasty, quite comfortable, quite enjoying being, I'm not like cold, I'm not wet, So I've got a little fire going just with some firelights that I picked up at the last place, and a bit of birch bark. It's only tinder, so it won't last long, but it's nice to get a little fire in there, a little bit of warmth. Last little treat before bed, nice warm hot chocolate. Yeah, that should be nice to warm me up before I get in my sleeping bag. See you in the morning. Cheers. What a view. What a Beautiful morning. Bit of a windy one. So here is a daylight view of the Bothy, Bothy. It's a lovely sanctuary. So it was a nice night. I slept really well, nice and warm in the sleeping bag. Yeah, first things first, I'm gonna get some breakfast on. Just gonna add some maple syrup. Right, so I'm all packed up, and just before I go I'm going to leave some last little bits around, a couple of hot chocolate sachets, a couple of cup of soups and some porridge. I found these were very handy when I needed them, so hopefully someone else will find some use. Plus it helps take down a bit of the weight that I'm carrying. So one thing I will quickly talk about is these trousers. They're called the Micklagård Hamra Pro. They're a Swedish made trouser. They're made from complete wool with reindeer leather bindings. They're very warm. They're very nice and cozy, nice and padded. They're very wind resistant. Great for sort of cold and windy conditions. They do have on the legs some aeration. So if you do get warm, you can open them up, get some air to your legs. Also comes with a lovely little knife pocket. You can slip your knife in there. I've also been keeping my phone in these pockets. It's quite easy for phone batteries to die very quickly in cold and far away from civilization. These are, you need to keep them alive. So I keep them in the pocket nice and close to the body, keep them nice and warm. I also keep them on aeroplane mode, because that helps conserve a lot of the battery. Lots of the battery drain goes through Bluetooth and trying to find a network. And out here, it's going to really struggle. So I have been on camps where my phone has died like so rapidly. It's quite, could be quite dangerous. But yeah, keeping it on aeroplane mode in a nice warm pocket close to your body stops that. Right, time to get out of here. One thing I'd definitely go without next time is this belt. So I brought the axe and the knife just as a precaution really, in case I did get stuck out in the woods. It'd be essential kit for me to get a fire started while out there. Chop down firewood and all that. But yeah, I've not used either of them at all. Extra weight to carry. Off we go. That mountain hill there is called the Devil's Point. And then just over there is the Bothy, for reference. What's really sad is I've been walking along this path here. Now it's much easier than walking in the bog. That's the way I came in yesterday. Down here, through past this little locket. And it was a nightmare. If I'd only known that this path was so close. Whoa, that's some strong wind. Thankfully I'm not walking into it this time. It's pushing me down the valley. It's taken me far less time to get in today. Taking the footpath has really sped things up. Just walking on this stuff down here is 10 times harder. I'm sure that's common sense, but you know, learned the hard way. Part of the fun. So I'm nearly there, back at the Bothy. That's the lodge near it. The Bothy's over there. Problem is, I'm on the wrong side of the river. Oh, pain. It's all right. Bridge. Don't have to go for a swim today. Believe me, it was tempting. Right, so I'm nearly there now. Last leg. Hopefully no one will be there, but there might be. This is the more popular Bothy, so chances are my luck isn't that good, so I won't have it alone. But we'll see. Right, I am approaching it. There is smoke coming from the chimney, which gives me belief that someone is in there. So, didn't have any luck with getting 2 nights in a row, but that's the risk with Bothy. They are popular, especially the more accessible ones. But yeah, probably won't be able to get too much filming done if there is someone in there, but if not, see you in the morning. There are a couple of people in there, same fella from the other night and another fella, but yeah, I'm just going to get out of this shirt. Built up such a sweat, this is dripping, it's freezing cold now, so I need to get it off me and into a dry, warm layer. Stop myself getting too cold. There's a fire in there going, so that's definitely a bonus already. Get my kit nice and dry for tomorrow. Much better.
I mean, you look at Cairngorm now, I mean, right up to, well, when I first went there, it would have been 67 or 68. It was still an earth floor in those days. But right up until we renovated, it was just the concrete floor, and it was just basically a steam box.
I bet that would be cold.
It was. I spent the coldest night of my life in there one February. But
you get a cold snap with there.
But you know, there's folks say, oh, the bothies, they were better in the old days. They weren't.
No, no.
It's like the Hutchie hut. I mean, the Hutchie hut it's like Carrera, it's got the stove, it's insulated, and you can actually get that quite warm. But I remember a lot of years ago sitting in the Hutchie night, shivering, damp and cold, and it was August.
There was no fire now until.
Right, so I've just it's the last morning. Had a lovely evening in the Bothy. So there were 2 other fellas in there, and then 4 students arrived. So there was 7 of us in there for the night. Nice people, good chat, a few drinks were had, yeah, good fun. But yeah, I'm on my way back to my car now. Trip's almost over. Last thing I want to do before I go home is take a dip in the river. God, that was cold. Very refreshing, and oh, well needed though. But yeah, it's quite windy, quite rainy out here. Get my clothes back on. That feels so warm now. Back to the spot where I started this video 3 days ago, and I've had an amazing 3 days up in these mountains. It's been great. I met a few nice people along the way, but enjoyed some peaceful solitude as well. And before I finish this video, I'm going to have one last glass of this lovely mountain river water. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.